Welcome back to Rhythm Guitar Book 2. This book focuses on open chords, strumming, and fingerstyle patterns. You can watch all these videos for free, but it's going to be a lot easier to learn if you have your own copy of Rhythm Guitar Book 2 that you can read from and write in. So I'll leave a link in the description. We're on pages 37 and 38. We have two new chords, the D chord and the A7, and we have four new comping patterns. Two of them are strumming and two fingerstyle. At the top of page 37, we have two new chords, the D major chord or D chord and the A7 chord. Before we get into those chords, I want to remind you that on page 81, you'll find all the chords in this book, plus some extras, which you can use as a reference working through this book or when you're learning songs. So let's take a look at this D chord. We have finger 1 on string 3, fret 2, finger 2 on string 1, fret 2, and finger 3 on string 2, fret 3. And this is a 4-string chord, just like your D minor and your D7. So your bass note will always be the 4th string. And when you're doing alternating bass patterns, just like your D minor and your D7, you'll be doing 4 and then string 5 for your alternate bass. The A7 chord has two possible fingerings. You can see that there's a set of numbers above the dots and another set of numbers below the dots. So if you're following the numbers above the dots, you're going to use fingers 1 and 2. Finger 1 being on the 4th string 2nd fret, and finger 2 being on the 2nd string 2nd fret as well. And this is a 5-string chord. So just like your A minor, you're going to use 5th string for your bass, and your alternate bass can be 5 and 4 or 5 and 6. And you can also play this A7 with fingers 2 and 3 instead of 1 and 2. So let's talk about why you might want to use fingers 1 and 2 on the A7 or 2 and 3 in some instances. If you're going back and forth between the D and the A7, it makes a lot of sense to use fingers 1 and 2 for the A7 because fingers 1 and 2 from the D chord just have to move up 1 string each to get in place for the A7. Now, if you're playing a D7, it makes more sense to play the A7 with fingers 2 and 3. For the same reason. Now, going from D7 to A7, fingers 2 and 3 just have to move a little bit. And D minor to A7, I would probably use fingers 2 and 3 for the A7 as well, just because they don't have to move very much at all. On page 38, we have four new comping patterns. Two of them are strumming and two of them are fingerstyle. Let's look at the strumming patterns first. Number R52 is all strumming all the time. You don't have to worry about bass notes. This is going to be 1, 2, and 3, and 4, or down, down, up, down, up, down. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Now, number R52 is a 4/4 pattern. Number R53 is a 3/4 pattern. What we're going to do here is going to play a bass note on beat 1 and then strum 2 and 3. So in the 3/4 pattern that you learned recently is 1, 2, and 3, all strumming, 1, 2, and 3. It's basically the same pattern, you're just playing a bass note on beat 1 instead of strumming the whole chord. So bass, 2, and 3. Let's take a look at the fingerstyle patterns now. Number R54 is another Pima pattern, P-I-M-A. The only difference between this and the pattern you've already been playing is this one is twice as fast. We're playing in eighth notes now instead of quarter notes. From page 9, our Pima pattern was P-I-M-A. A, or 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it has a little bit more flow to it. And you can play this one with alternating bass notes within the same measure. 1 and 2 and then your alternate. So number R54 is for 4/4 time. In 3/4 time, we can use this number R55 pattern. This is P, I, and then M, A, M, A on beat 2. Let me play it and then talk about it. So we have 8 notes at the beginning, 1 and, so 1 is going to be P, or your thumb, and the and of 1 is going to be your index finger, or your first finger, and on beats 2 and 3, you're just playing those last 2 fingers at the same time, 1 and 2, 3. And you can play this with alternating bass if you like. Your assignment is to get familiar with the D chord and the A7 chord on page 37 and to work on those new comping patterns on page 38 and make sure you practice them with alternating bass notes as well. Once you're comfortable with these new chords and patterns, I'll see you on page 39 where we can start putting this to use.